Hello everyone, I'm Robert Brokamp, the Senior Advisor to the Motley Fool's Rule Your Retirement Service. In fact, I'm here to talk to you about your retirement. Specifically, step 11 of the 13 steps to investing foolishly, retire in style. So how do you do it? Well, first of all, you got to take control of your retirement. Your employer's not going to do it for you. The government's not going to do it for you. You have to take control of your retirement. The good news is your employer and the government might be willing to provide a little help. I'll tell you how as I discuss the 6 keys to retiring in style. So key number 1 is contribute to the right accounts. So we covered this in step 4, but as a quick review, start by saving in your retirement plan at work, especially if your employer matches your contributions. So let's say your account is this vase. The money you put in are these balls. You put in some money, and then your employer is going to come in and put some extra. Now this is how Uncle Sam helps out. Uncle Sam is not going to take any taxes out of this account as your money grows. Now, depending on whether you choose a Roth or a traditional, you might have to pay taxes on one end or the other. But the good news is, with an employer-sponsored retirement account or even an IRA, Uncle Sam's going to leave this alone, let it grow throughout the years. That'll give you more money. Key number 2 to retiring in style is choose the right investments. Not only are you putting money in there, but then you have to choose which investments to buy. Ideally, those investments will grow, and it can happen in 2 ways. First of all, those investments that you put in there might pay dividends or interest. What do you do with that? Well, you buy more investments, which also pay dividends and interest, which allow you to buy more investments. In fact, you can almost triple and quadruple your account over the long term, even if the actual value of your individual investments don't grow, just by reinvesting your dividends and interest. But of course, ideally, your investments will grow so that your account grows and you are able to put in and have bigger balls. The 3rd step to retiring in style is actually saving enough. So how much do you actually need to save? Research indicates that the average person is contributing about 6% to 8% to their retirement accounts. This is not enough. And I'm going to give you some very general rules of thumb, assuming you haven't started to save yet. If you're in your 20s, starting out, you really should aim for 10%, maybe 15% of your pay. 30s, 15 to 20%. If you're reaching your 40s, it's not too late, but you're going to have to save somewhere between 20 and 30%. If you're in your 50s and you really haven't started saving, you really got to start stepping it up, 30 to 40% of your income. The good news is hopefully the kids are out of the house, you're not paying for college anymore, so you have that extra cash flow. If you're in your 60s and you haven't saved much, it's still not too late to have something. You have to save almost half of your income and probably work until your 70s, but at least you'll have something. Now, when you combine sufficient savings with smart investing, your account will grow and grow over the years so that, hopefully, you have even a bigger account and even bigger balls. Now, the next key to retiring in style is making sure that you're actually saving enough. Are you really on track? And there's really only one way to find this out, and you have to do some number crunching. There are all kinds of retirement calculators out there on the internet. We actually have a good one on Fool.com. It has the unwieldy name of, am I saving enough? What can I change? But it's a good calculator. It takes all aspects of your savings, Social Security, when you're going to retire, how much you're saving. It does analysis of whether you're on track. No calculator is perfect. No calculator can predict the future. But you still have to be doing something, and ideally at least once a year, to make sure you're going in the right direction. And once you move into your 40s and 50s, you may want to hire a financial advisor who charges by the hour to help with the analysis to make sure that you're really getting it right. Now, key number 5, stop paying for other people's retirements. Now, while Uncle Sam may not take anything out of your retirement accounts while you're saving, Wall Street will. You might pay commissions, expenses on mutual funds, or maybe fees to financial advisors. But not only do these fees take money out of your account, but you've lost out on the growth that that money could have been. So let's look at an example. Let's say you have $100,000 in your account and you're paying 2% a year in fees, $2,000. Not only is that $2,000 taken out of your account, but you missed out on what that $2,000 would have grown to. In this example, $10,500 if we assume 8% annual growth in 20 years. So not only did you miss out on this, you missed out on all the other balls you could have had. Now, you can't avoid fees altogether. After all, investment advisors and mutual funds deserve to be paid. But just make sure that the fees you're paying are reasonable and that you're getting your money's worth for all the fees you're paying. And finally, key number 6, know how to crack your nest egg. So once you retire, it's time to begin tapping your portfolio. How much can you take out so that you not take out too much and by the time you reach your 70s and 80s, you don't have any money left in there? And which account should you start taking that money from? Probably you have 3 or 4 or 5 different accounts. Which one should you tap first? So here are the quick answers to those. Historically, a safe withdrawal rate from a retirement portfolio is 4%. If the markets perform as they generally have in the past, you can assume that your portfolio will likely last a good 20 to 30 years. As for where that money should come from, the general rule is to start with your taxable non-retirement accounts, then your traditional tax-deferred accounts, and save your Roth accounts for last. But there are lots of exceptions to these rules, lots of exceptions to the 4% withdrawal rate, so you need to take the time to learn more before you retire. And finally, as you approach and enter retirement, you should begin diversifying your portfolio, putting different types of things in there. You want to play it a little more conservative with the money that you have, but not too safe, because even someone in their 60s could possibly live into their 90s. So even a retiree has a time horizon that's at least a few decades. So don't play it too safe. And that's it. Those are the 6 keys to retiring foolishly and retiring in style. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you had a ball. Make sure you check out the other 12 steps to investing foolishly, and fool on.